Hello, everybody, and welcome to Infendo Radio. This is Steve, your new host.
Let me just go to the YouTube, and I have to make the video private because YouTube is dumb, and they don't want us to stream at the same time as we're streaming on Twitch. All right, so the video is now private. This is good. That's good.
He's good, yes.
That's good.
So we're not allowed to stream to both the. So who's watching the YouTube stream?
YouTube will get it after we're done.
Mm-hmm.
It's a private video.
Okay.
And then
It's
it's
this way we
released
don't-
after.
But this
It's
way we
just-
don't have to upload the video on our
exactly.
own time and forget it and be 10 videos behind because I say I'll do it and I don't do it. Eugene says he'll do it and he doesn't do it. And you guys never offer to do it. So, you know, it's just a happy medium.
Let me.
Fair.
Yep, this is us. All right. Well, we are live. We have not synced up yet, though. So let's all start our recordings if we haven't already.
Oh, I've been recording.
Oh, I need to hit record.
Good deal.
Okay, so turning off my VPN did not help my internet any. So hopefully I make it through this episode.
Let's
I'll
sync
be
up
with us.
in 3, 2, 1. All right. Claps.
12
Carson.
seconds.
Carson Daly. Where are we at?
I never know who he's talking.
Carson Daly's Lucas today.
Ah, okay. 5:59.
Okay.
Jimmy Fallon.
Justin, you're going to be Jimmy Neutron today.
That works.
Actually, I probably should have gone with Carson Daly because I was at 311, y'all.
God.
I don't understand that reference.
And
You wouldn't.
Minecraft Steve is at 12 seconds.
So
I understand
311
that reference,
I
and I guess
feel
I'm
old.
I'm
Okay,
hella
Lucas,
old. 'Cause I
311
did
was a
understand
stoner
that.
band. 311 was a stoner band back when I was in high school. Actually, probably older than that. And Justin, what is, or Eugene?
Got jip, jip, got dip,
Yep,
that's
send you one
all,
of those
folks.
nights.
Just tell me one thing, guys. What was it like before the internet was invented?
Oh, hey, Eugene, can you get the dial-up
Um,
tone for Lucas and feed that shit in?
We had dial-up when I was a young lad.
No, you didn't. You
yeah,
don't
I
know what you're
did.
talking about. No. you didn't.
AOL.com.
No, you didn't.
all that
We used to
dial-up
listen.
garbage.
Wait, I don't know if you
got
can see,
mail.
but we used to listen to music on these things. That little tape player there.
Oh, I was like on a
that's
Nook
how
phone?
you would copy music. You would illegally
Yeah,
copy
dude.
music
Mix
by putting
Eugene-
2 cassettes in. and
Eugene,
pressing play
I'm
on
about to
one
leave,
and
I
unfortunately,
I was just gonna say you're being very patient.
All right, fuckers, let's do this shit. Let me level my audio first, though, because I haven't
Oh,
tested
fuck.
it yet.
It's
So
gonna be a night, kid.
This is what we're going with tonight. Infendo.com
It's a me,
is the place to go.
Mario.
If Mario and Luigi were to do a podcast, it might sound something like
I accidentally
this.
hit the button twice.
Yeah.
There was a whole lot of talking.
Is the music too loud with my voice now? Infendo.com is the place to go if you want to get everything that we
Yeah.
are doing. Head to
A little bit.
How about Infendo.com is the place to go if you want to get everything.
Still a little bit.
Still a little loud? Okay, let me. God, this track is loud as shit, apparently.
Yeah, well, that's the power of the N64.
Infendo.com is the place to go if you want to.
That works.
There you go.
Okay, cool. Glad I leveled that out first before
Me
we
too.
found
Now I want to
out.
go play Mario 64.
Well, too bad you're doing a podcast. Sit down, shut up, and get ready for the show.
All right, let's do it. Show starts. Let me just make sure that I have all my B's on for Twitch. I do.
I've got the patron list.
I was going to ask you that, and I forgot, so thank you for reminding me to remind you. Let's fucking do it. Infendo.com is the place to go if you want to get everything that we are doing. Head to our Patreon, go to our Discord. Even Steve's Discord lives there. Go to Infendo.com today.
If Mario and Luigi were to do a podcast, it might sound something like this. Infendo Radio is on now.
Hello, hello, hello. It's Wednesday, so you know what time it is. It's Infendo Infendo Radio time. It's the 27th of May, so it's our very final episode of the month. I hope everybody had a good May, stayed home, stayed inside, was safe, all that fun jazz. Lucas, how are you doing tonight?
Well, I am doing just fine because I've been chosen by the Infendo god that is Eugene to go first on the show, and that is an honor. I will fight and die for you now. I am your loyal scribe.
Okay, well, good, because I was actually gonna assign you as the rook in my chess game, so get freaking ready.
I'll
Steven,
be ready.
How are you doing tonight? I don't know if you're so much a rook tonight, but more of like the bishop. How are you doing this evening?
I was gonna say, be careful what you say, because I've already got beef with you. Hearing that N64 da 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 da, and not hearing "It's a me, Mario," really throws you off.
Sure.
And you did it twice.
So to answer your question, hyper. Steven is doing hyper tonight.
It's gonna be a night.
Justin, how are you doing this evening?
Hello, it's me, Mario. Thank you
Hey.
so much for playing my game.
There you go,
Thank
Steve.
you, Justin. That was wonderful.
So to answer your question, hyper. Justin is doing hyper tonight.
Yeah, we're here. We're all.
I had to have a little bit of extra coffee, so.
Oh Lord, we're all in for one. It is time for the show, but before we get too far, we want to thank everybody who brought the show to you tonight, and actually everybody who will, as a result, be donating
Except
to
you.
our
You know who you
COVID
are.
relief fund that we're going to be donating our Patreon funds to this month. So, Steve, why don't you read off the list?
Okay. I'm also glad you told me it was the last show of the month, because I only had our producers pulled it first, so thank you. We would like to thank all of our producers for continuing to support us. And I'm going to start where I feel like it. Apollo Lemon, Mustard Giant Cow, Mark Nowak, Jonathan Lewis, Daniel Gaskin, Shinedown, Michael Larson, Schnazzy One, Sky Pharaoh, Metal Mike, Colton Malik, and then our producers, Minus64, Phantom and Slacker Monkey, and our executive producers, EP Knothead, Andrew Searson, and the Brianosaurus. Thank you guys all for continuing to support us.
Okay, thank you.
I'm-
All right, we're going to take a little break right now, and then we will be back on the other side with Change the System.
I'm sorry I couldn't get.
we lose
Nice.
everybody. Hello, Twitch. We are here. Let's go ahead and get rolling with change the system. Let me just go ahead and make a note in my deal. Oh, minus. Yeah, Steve told me about that. We were actually talking about that pre-show about the YouTube video. Basically, Twitch is dumb and they don't let us stream to both platforms simultaneously, so I have to set that video as private. I'll try and change the settings.
Since we actually have an audience on Twitch, you know.
Yeah, I'll try and fix the settings, minus, so then like you won't get a notification until after I make the video public, but I can't promise anything, but I'll definitely look into it. But anyways, I will see you guys on the other side for Change the System once I find some fucking music. We'll go with this one. Okay, that'll work. And then let me find some fucking Lucas. There's some fucking Lucas.
Here. I told you I was right here.
Let's go back.
It is so hard to tell whether it's Lucas live or Lucas pre-recorded.
All right, we're going. Here we go.
For $10 a month, you can get our special streaming package.
Oh, wait, it's too quiet. Let me turn that up a little bit. Right there. Take 2.
I have a special stream. No, I'm not going to. Never mind.
Have a name that's incredibly hard to pronounce? For $1 a month over at patreon.com/Infendo Radio, you can laugh at us while we try to pronounce it and fail.
All right, it's time for it's time for Change the System. Let's talk about, I guess, a little bit of news if we have any, which I don't think we really do, but mostly I guess the games that we've been playing. So I guess I'll start us off because I guess I have kind of a dual news slash games that I've been playing. So kind of maybe on the sketchier side, there was just a emulator released for the Android recently that can play 3DS games. So naturally I downloaded it and I installed it, and I found a ROM that I may have legally or illegally obtained one way or the other. But in any case, I played Ocarina of Time on my freaking phone, and it was cool. I enjoyed it a lot. It was interesting because the phone actually has the gyro controls from the 3DS, so like I was actually able to like move my phone around to like aim my arrows and stuff like that. Obviously there's no like 3D support, but for what was there, I thought it was pretty cool.
You know what has me excited is the Oculus Quest is based on Android, so if they can get it running on an Android phone, might be able to play some 3DS games in the Oculus with full motion controls, and that has me excited. So I'll have to keep an eye out for that being side questable.
So
yeah, it's
Oh,
go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, how expensive is your phone? Like, how high-end is your phone, and how did the game run on the phone? Like, do you have, like, a phone that's, like, a couple $100s, or do you have, like, an $800, $900, like, well, it's not an iPhone, obviously, but, like, a Google phone or something?
Yeah, good question. So I don't have, like, the most expensive phone ever. I have, like, a last gen, actually 2 gens ago at this point, phone. I have a Pixel 3. So I think that one came out in like 2018 or whatever, but it runs the emulator okay. Like, I'm not gonna say it's perfect because you can still see some hiccups, but for what I wanted to do with it, just to kind of see if it would work, and then maybe occasionally pull out my phone to play Ocarina of Time when I'm bored in line, whenever things start reopening again, type of thing. It works, like I'm not gonna lie, it's not gonna be like my main way to play Ocarina of Time or any 3DS game for that matter, but just for the novelty of it, getting a 3DS game to work on my phone, it was cool.
Gotcha. Yeah, it'd probably run horribly on mine because I've got an old LG K20 that I got when did Pokemon Go come out? Like 2016?
Oh, wow. Right.
It's time for an upgrade, boy.
Sure.
No, I stick with stuff until it breaks. And this one has very much started to break, so,
sure.
Little bits and pieces here and there, but eventually we'll get a new one.
Little bits of glass in your face, it looks like.
Yeah, but other than that, honestly, I haven't been playing a whole lot other than, stuff I've talked about a million times. So I'm still on a huge Breath of the Wild kick, like huge. I just can't put that game down. And you know, despite what some hosts might say, I think this is a freaking great game. I can't put it down. This is why I remember saying that this is like, you know, the best Zelda game I've ever played. I'm getting those type of vibes again, picking it up like, what, 2 years after the fact and finishing up Master Mode. Like, I definitely see its faults. I can definitely understand that, you know, there's no dungeons and there's not a whole lot of story there, but like, God damn it if I'm not having like the best time. Like, I don't want to play anything else right now.
We don't have to rehash this conversation for the 1000th time on the show.
Sure.
But I will just say, I wish I could feel that way, because I've
Sure.
seen you guys fall in love with it, and like, you know, it feels like I'm missing out, but different strokes for different folks. You know?
Every
Sure.
time I start playing that game again, for whatever reason, I end up getting hooked again, which is,
That's me
you know,
with
maybe
Skyrim.
I haven't played Skyrim in so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, guys, that's pretty much
I
the
was
long
hooked
of-
on it at one point, though.
That's pretty much the long of the short of all the games that I've been playing. I mean, I could talk about Pokemon Go and the event that happened this weekend, but nobody wants to talk about all the shinies that I caught. The only thing I will say, though, is Niantic, thank you for just like continuing to update the game and making the events like, you know, really credible to play from your house. You know, like, I am
Solid
really
dev
enjoying
work.
it. Yeah. So yeah, so
I've hatched more eggs in the past week just around my
Yeah.
house than I did when I was leaving every day.
Totally, right? So, but yeah, that's enough for me. Who wants to talk about the games they've been playing?
I'll go next because I just have something very quick to talk about. I haven't had a lot of time to play much this week, but I did, you better believe it, sit down last night and play the opening level of Minecraft Dungeons. And I think I'm gonna like this game. Like, it's Minecraft, but it's not. It definitely feels like something different. I don't have any other dungeon crawlers to compare it to, because I've never actually played Diablo, and I don't know, the closest thing I've even played that's even remotely close to Diablo would be Skylanders. Or have I played something else, Lucas?
No, I was reacting to
Okay.
the music, not to you.
Oh.
Please ignore me. I'm never reacting to anything that's going on that actually matters on the show. Just
Gotcha.
music.
So yeah, but I think I'm gonna enjoy it, and the game's only $20. So even if I only get 15-20 hours out of it, I feel like that's gonna be good. It's something that I'm gonna enjoy. The thing that I do want to say on the show that surprised me the most, I was listening to last week's show, and somebody asked to have crossplay, and we decided probably not, because that's something they would have advertised. They didn't advertise it, but guys, it's got crossplay. The first
we
thing
go.
you do is sign in with your Minecraft account that you use for regular Minecraft, and it shows all of your friends on your Xbox Live friend list. And it also... So it's weird, because you look up your friend list, it's got all your Xbox Live friends, which I've got like 5, and then it's got your entire Switch friend list that's also there. So, yeah.
Nice. And you've been liking it so far?
Yeah, played the opening level, took me about 20 minutes, 30 if you count me, you know, messing through the menus because I'm retarded. But, you know, I'm enjoying it, so we'll see what this weekend brings when I have a chance to get more into it.
Well, I would welcome Justin to go next as I try to remember what it is I've been playing, so...
All right. Well, I've been playing the same 2 games I've been playing for the past month, but I've finally finished the epilogue for Red Dead Redemption 2. So I'd like to get like super spoilery about it, and then I can
Finally!
close the book on that game. So anybody out there who hasn't played Red Dead Redemption 2 and you don't want anything spoiled for
You're
you,
way
check
too
it.
late. It's been like 2 years. Move on with your life.
check out for the next couple of minutes, and you know, basically when I'm done talking, you can join back in. So anyway, all right, let me tackle a few of the things that disappointed me. Like I said, I started out not liking Arthur as a character. It was so hard for me to get through the first act or 2, just because I think a lot of it was that he didn't like anybody in the gang, it seemed. and he was doing a lot of bad things that I felt were not redeemable, but came around, and I ended up loving him as a character, possibly more than John Marsden. But all right, so here's the part that I wanted to talk about. So the end of the main game, you switch from Arthur Morgan to John Marsden, and you take over, basically leading from the end of the Morgan story to the beginning of Red Dead Redemption 1, which, as I've said before, takes place after. When that happens, you open up the whole section of land previously closed because it was, you were wanted in that area. And it's most of the world from Red Dead Redemption 1, which I was really excited about because we have this epilogue where I'm playing as this character that I loved so much in an area that I'm familiar with, and I can't wait to go explore this area and meet characters and all that and see what it was like, back then. Come to find out there are absolutely no missions anywhere in that area. It's just there for the sake of being there, and there's not a whole lot there. So that has disappointed me. Now that I've actually rolled credits on the game, other than just like finding a few secrets, there's not a whole lot for me to, and collecting a few bounties, there's not a whole lot for me to do because I've done most of the stranger missions that have multiple parts. But
the end game in Red Dead Redemption 2 is definitely not as good as the end game in the first Red Dead Redemption, I feel.
See, I don't remember there being much at the end of the first one. I remember you start playing as his son, and again, spoilers, you start playing as his son, and you have one mission, and then that's it. The game is over, and there's nothing else to do.
In both games, see, I think not to tell you how to play a game, I hate that, but I think you played it wrong. Because in both games, you inherit the missions that you didn't complete as one character as the other character. So like when I played it, I went through the main story and I did a few missions. Then I had a lot to do as John Marsden because I was meeting all these characters as him, and they were like, "Oh, you know that other guy?" He was like, "Oh yeah, we were close." Those kind of like dialogues and stuff. So I think the game tends to favor people who play more like me than who play like you in that case, because there's more to do in the post game, because the post game is just the main game,
Yeah, see, for me, the closer I got to the end of the main story, the more I wanted to drag it out. The more time I wanted to spend with Arthur Morgan and with his story, and to meet everybody I could and do everything I could. Of course, again, spoiler alert, I did the side mission where you meet the man with the artificial leg, and finish all those, so you end up inheriting his horse. And I spent a lot of time getting the horse up to the full like bonding, and then got to the last mission and the horse dies, and I'm like, fuck. But all things considered, Red Dead Redemption 2 is definitely worth getting an Xbox One for, worth putting all the hours into that I have. I'm probably still going to play it because there's stuff in it left to do. There's places to explore. You can find the graves to all of the characters who died over the course of the game, which is kind of cool. You can go find like where one of the characters moves to in the Canada section, if you can find your way up there. And so I just want to explore around in it, but I think next time I jump into a long story-based game, it's going to be Red Dead Redemption 1, because I'm totally ready to just, start that story.
That game needs to come out on
Other
Switch.
than that, it does, like, it needs to come out yesterday, because I was just thinking, God, I would be sitting here playing it during work. Nobody heard that, right? Okay. I would be sitting here playing it during work if I had the option to. And the other game I rolled credits on was Animal Crossing New Horizons, and we all know what happens then.
Sure. Yeah, just keep freaking playing on that game. I like Lucas, we talked about this a little
Yep,
pre-show.
I've actually I'm
Oh, go ahead.
Animal Crossing New Horizons is now my most played game on the Switch. So
Oh, wow.
More than more than Breath of the Wild.
I have definitely put a lot of time into Animal Crossing, but for one reason or the other, I put it down a couple of weeks ago and haven't picked it back up again. So it's kind of where I'm at on that one.
I think a couple of weeks ago was really the cutoff point for a lot of people, where it's either like, yes, this game is for me, or I've experienced this game and I'll play the holidays, like, you know.
I've moved on.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Womp
Sure.
womp.
Sure.
Well, were you all done? I'm assuming Justin is done. So I'm just gonna jump in. I've been playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah. So I've been playing this game online with a couple of friends, but unfortunately I'm having some issues keeping up with them, so that's kind of falling off. But I've been playing a lot of the story mode, and I forgot how much I really, really enjoyed the story mode. If you like, if you like heist movies or crime movies or dramas, this is a really good fill-in for that. But the thing I forgot about this game is how long it is, man. I will sit down at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday, and I'll be like, I'm gonna play and kind of finish this game up today. You know, that's gonna be my thing. I'm gonna sit down and get through the rest of this game. It's 3 a.m. and I'm realizing, oh my god, I have so much more to do, and I've been playing for 20 or 30 hours now. How is this possible? It's it's Rockstar, you know, they know how to do a good narrative-driven game, whether that's Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption. So I'm having a good time. I'm looking forward to finishing it up. Obviously, I'm going to go with the true ending where you don't kill off either of your partners, because I love the crew, even Trevor, and I want them all to survive. But yeah, good game. Outside of that, I've still been playing Pirate Warriors 4. I think I talked about that kind of ad nauseum on the last show. At least I hope I did.
Oh, you talked about it last show. I wouldn't say ad nauseum. But...
Okay, but I said what needed to be said. There's not much more to say. It's a really good Warriors game, really good One Piece game. And not much else to that. I will say one bit of, news that kind of excited me is a little while ago, they announced that they're bringing Jump Force over to the Switch, which is a very infamous arena fighter. Brings about a lot of the different, anime characters from the Shonen Jump universe. A lot of people don't like it because it's not a very good competitive game. But as a sit down and play and just kind of, whittle away some hours, killing time and fighting, your favorite characters against each other, I think it's a blast.
Did you ever play Jump Superstars on the DS?
No, it was one of those games I always wanted, but I was a little too young back then. I didn't really buy my own games, so it was very selective, and I just
It was an import too, so it was hard to get into because it only obviously released in Japan. But if you if you can find yourself a copy, honestly, it'd be worth buying one and booting it up on your 3DS, because that is a good... It's almost like Smash Bros, honestly, on the 3DS.
Yeah.
But just with Shonen Jump characters.
Yeah, I think I kind of remember that from when I might have emulated it for a little while. But
It's
yeah,
fun.
it was really good.
There you go.
Yeah,
There's
but
a good use
really
for the phone emulator that you can try.
The 3DS emulator, going full circle here on Infendo Radio. That's what we do. But no, I'm looking forward to Jump Force because I really like it. I think it's a lot of fun. But I don't play fighters to be competitive. I play fighters because I like the characters and stuff, So, yeah, and really, that's about it. I'm working on a team for Pokemon. So, Steve and I do Hyper Voice, right? And the last episode just dropped this Tuesday because of the holiday. So the next episode should be coming out a week from Monday. We're actually going to be sitting down, and I'm going to be testing out my new team against Steve. And we're going to be kind of doing a voice-only play-by-play of the entire battle and kind of analyzing what moves we use and stuff. So if that's your thing and you want to hear a radio performance of our Pokemon battle, that's going to be Hyper Voice 13. So I guess I'll plug our other podcast on this podcast and just,
As
ruin
you do.
my relationship right here. Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. And really, other than that, I haven't been playing very much. I don't know. I've been putting more work into my game, and that always means I'm putting less time into my games, right? So it's kind of the balance that I make, I guess. But
there's not enough time, I've decided.
Steve,
we need a 3 day. There needs to be 8 days a week. We need a 3 day weekend, 5 work days. It'll be fine.
See, and it's not even like I have plenty of time, but I find that I can't be both productive and lazy at the same time. Like, one always ends up beating out the other. And right now it's productivity. So for the next month, hopefully I'll be productive and I won't be playing any games and I'll make a terrible podcast host. Then I'll get lazy again and I'll be playing everything and I'll have a ton to talk about. But it's just how it goes, you know? So.
Well, I mean, that's how it goes, right? I mean, you can't have... There's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah. And all of them are being spent playing GTA 5.
I mean, do you really need to sleep?
Lucas already doesn't sleep, Steve.
Yeah,
don't give him any
don't.
ideas. Come on. Like, so, well, I think that brought us to the end of the question block, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, all right.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, then I think we'll take a short break here and we'll come back on the other side and play a mini game and answer your questions from the question block.
Sounds good.
It's time for a mini game.
Turn the show around.
Let's call this fucking question block.
Probably shouldn't call it that.
I love when Eugene swears. That is my favorite thing.
He does it all the time.
But I'm not always with you guys, so I never
then when
hear
you
it.
say it, he does it more to show off. So, like,
I just know how to turn it off during normal show hours, so then I don't have to
fucking
edit myself into a Pika.
I've worked with children and in like fussy companies enough that I just kind of know when not to let it slip.
And it's just not hardwired into my DNA, I guess. So, you know.
It is. You just have to get very angry.
It is time for the question block. You motherfuckers, shut the fuck up so I can start the music.
It's time for the mini game.
For $5 a month, we can give you something better than the Lost Woods. We've got what we call the Hidden Feed. That gets you our all-access pass to everything we do behind the scenes and otherwise. Head over to patreon.com/Infendo Radio and pledge your $5 today.
All right, we're back. It is time for a mini game. I'm not hosting it today, though, so I'm going to toss it over to the fella who is. So, Lucas, why don't you take us away?
That's me! Yes, we are playing a mini game today, and in the interest of making the mini games slightly less mini, but still very much a game, I'm going to be doing 3 games in tonight's episode of Bad Game Descriptions, because, frankly, I think the mini games have gotten just a little too short. I think it's good that the show is a little shorter than it used to be, but we could stand to beef these things up a bit, make it a little competitive, right? So, I've chosen 3 excellent games for you, with not really bad game descriptions, but odd game descriptions, and you gentlemen are going to have to tell me how much each game is worth. Now, fortunately, since we're doing 3 rounds, each of you can go first once, so there's really no fair, no unfair play here. Everybody has a shot, and whoever wins gets the honor of being known as the almighty overlord of bad video games in Okinawa. So that's what's up for stake. Everybody ready to give it a go?
Yeah, I'm ready to freaking do this.
All right, that sounded like 3 yeses from what I heard. One was Spanish, one was French, and one was good old American. This first game is pretty
Not
long.
what I was going for, but it works, I guess.
Bear with me. Take over all of Japan and dominate the business world like a tycoon. The core objective in the game is pretty straightforward. Travel across Japan and earn more money than anyone else. You earn money by landing on property squares with investment opportunities, like a sushi restaurant in Ginza, or an animation goods store in Akihabara. After you invest, you'll have to wait until March rolls around for those investments to pay off. In the meantime, be on the lookout for errant monsters that may shower you with riches, or throw a wrench in your plans. You can also earn extra money by landing on item squares, which can either help you reach your own goals or simply ruin your rival's plans. If you finish the game with the most money, you win. Brains, bravado, and lucky breaks, dice, and random events will help decide your fate, but you also need to invest wisely, take calculated risks, and rely on the whims of unpredictable monsters if you want to become Japan's next billionaire. There's a lot of other stuff here that's way too much to read. We're going to skip down to the bottom because I don't want this to take an hour and a half. Multiple modes means maximum mayhem. Tournament mode is a single-player version that lasts for 30 in-game years, while skirmish mode is a quick multiplayer experience that lasts a mere 36 months. Whether long-term or short-term, it's sure to get the adrenaline pumping. Show your friends who's boss. Play with your buddies locally. There are hidden playable maps like the Monster Island, and finally, family-friendly game that can teach kids the importance of investments. Gentlemen, how much does this simply capital game run for on the Nintendo eShop when it's not on sale?
Lucas,
see what you did there.
Wasn't this that game that you and I were supposed to stream that we both bought that we never actually streamed?
Oh, that was the one with Kim Jong-un. No, this is actually a game, I will tell you though, this is a game I was so interested in that I never thought was going to come to the States that about a year ago, I bought it with yen on the Japanese eShop.
Oh.
I know what game this is, so I think I might be cheating. So I guess let me go last.
I guess Eugene goes last. Who
I'll
would
go
like
first.
to go first?
$9.99.
I thought I knew what game this was.
That's a guess. That's definitely a guess.
Yes, $9.99
Justin?
with a capital S.
I'm gonna go with the game that I think it was, which I'm pretty sure is wrong now, but I'm gonna go with $3.99.
$3.99. All right. And Eugene Allen.
So I know what this game is because I was looking to buy it for some reason the other night as I was scrolling through the eShop. So I know that this game is called Billion Road and it is running $39.99.
Eugene gets the
dude.
first round.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys were way off. This is a full price game.
Well, I was looking at this game because it looked so much like
Fortune Street.
Fortune Street. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love those kind of games. I'm an absolute maniac for like board game, money making, RPG, anything like that. So anything on a board game is immediately better for me. So yeah, congratulations, Eugene. You have a single point. Now we are going on to game number 2. Gentlemen, you all have a chance, but Justin will have the first chance this time. The world you know is gone. In the shadow of a massive earthquake, you must brave a destroyed city where your choices will determine who survives. Gentlemen, how much does this game run for?
Now, see, I actually know this game because
that
happened
can't be it. That's
ago.
not the end of the description. Oh boy.
Wow. All right, Justin, have fun with that.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Right. What Eugene said. I don't know. I'm gonna go big this time. $39.99.
$39.99. Eugene, what is your guess?
I'm gonna go with $3.99 because they couldn't hire a copywriter.
Very split down the middle. Steven, what is your guess?
I was actually going to go with 93 cents. With the description that long, it's got to be pricey.
So we've got 93 cents, we've got $3.99 and $39.99. Gentlemen, Disaster Report 4 Summer Memories retails for
it's like a $60 game, right?
$59.
I knew it.
$99.
So dumb.
Holy
This is Disaster
crap.
Report?
Congratulations,
Really?
Not bad.
Yep.
Wow.
Which brings us
My gamble worked.
Huh.
brings us to our third and final game. Steve, if you win this, it's a tie and nothing exciting happens. Eugene and Justin, if either of you win this, one of you wins. So good luck, everybody.
Ooh, ooh.
All of Princess Maker's daughters gathered in one place, fighting in life simulation game by using the dice. The elements of the series remain intact. The ability status is up through various events, training, and part-time jobs in the field. Rival, study, part-time job, and love. The tumultuous 8 years will begin on the board. Only the dice knows the destiny. Uzu and Cube, the navigator to help your daughter. Throw a dice and go on an adventure
I was waiting for.
with the friend who will decide your daughter's fate. The desperate competition to take a step closer to the prince. There are more than 100 various events waiting on the road. There will also be a confrontation that can't be backed down for a happy future. Support to play with up to 4 players. Who will become a princess? Eugene, will you become a princess by getting the correct price on this game?
Oh boy, am I first? I'm gonna go with God. I don't know.
This is for all the marbles.
$10, $9.99.
dice.
That's my chance. That's my price. $9.99.
$9.99. All right, Steven, what is your guess?
I was going to say $13.99.
$13.99. All right,
Undercut
and
me
Justin,
like a jerk.
knowing what the other two have what are you going to bet on this game?
$1, Bob.
I was gonna go with $19.99.
$19.99. Well, gentlemen, I am excited to announce that Princess Maker Go-Go Princess actually retails for $14.99, meaning Steve won the round. And we have what I like to call a Superman versus Flash situation. Everyone's a loser. Congratulations.
No, that was Superman versus Batman.
That too. Superhero A versus Superhero B.
Wow. So we attempted
that's it,
to
guys.
extend the mini game to make it more exciting and give us a winner. Instead, we gave ourselves 3 winners, and everybody gets a participation.
I
medal.
will give each of you a special prize Mario Party style. Eugene gets the knowledge award for actually knowing one of the games and guessing it spot on. Steve gets closest to the pin if you don't count the fact that Eugene got one of them immediately correct. And Justin got the most win in distance to the other two for guessing almost full price on a full price game that Eugene bet $4.
This really is a Mario Party award.
Less than $1.
Wow.
So congratulations! You each get a star that you can cash in at the bank for up to 60 gold coins.
Oh boy. All right. Well, that was fun. I think it's time to roll into the question block, however. So I think we will roll into that. I'm going to read EP Knothead's question, and then I'll have one of you read our next question from Colt. So EP Knothead asks, if you had to pick one book world, i.e. Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, turn into an RPG, what would you pick, and what would it take to be good?
Oh.
Ooh. Go ahead.
Me. So I'm actually not a huge Harry Potter guy. Like, I've watched the movies and I like them, but I would kill for like a Skyrim type Harry Potter game. Like, I want to join Gryffindor as my own character and have like my friends like online maybe in like the other classes, and we're like quidditching against each other, and we're fighting Dementors in the basement. And, you know, I said I wasn't a big Harry Potter fan, so I don't know if any of what I said made sense. But
most of it did.
It would be nice to play a Harry Potter game where you're not playing as
Harry Potter, right? Like, one of the things I like so much about Knights of the Old Republic 2 is you get to be your own Jedi. And I found with a lot of like these, you know, like Lord of the Rings would be fun, but Lord of the Rings would feel very much like playing, you know, again, like a Skyrim or something, right? Or a Legend of Zelda. It would just be, you know, elves and dwarves instead of Hylians and Zoras. But like Harry Potter is so unique to itself. There's so little like magic elements that really take themselves that seriously. I would love to play a really well done, like open world Harry Potter game with a character creator. It has to have a character creator.
Yeah.
I mean, now that we're including, you know, Skyrim style action RPGs in the RPG category, that opens it up a little bit more for me.
It says RPG.
Darn right.
All right, I'm going to think about this for a minute. So somebody else go next.
While you're thinking, I have my...
Go
ahead,
It's going to be
Steve.
Minecraft.
No. I know what Steve's answer is going to be. Hold on. It's going to be...
It's going to be Star Wars.
Yep, because there's a book.
Oh.
There's some kind of Star Wars book.
No. So I don't actually read very often, but one of the few books I have actually read is the Star Wars movie novelizations. So they had the movie, they turned it into a book, and the book, in my mind, actually has the better story than the movies, at least in what I've read so far. Which
I believe it, because the movies are actually pretty cheesy, you know? Like, the books could probably do a lot to kind of flesh stuff out and make it a little more serious.
And they do. If you haven't read them, they're phenomenal. That being said, like I say, the only other books I've read other than that, like series that I could think of, are Harry Potter, which we've already talked about.
My
I've
history
read
textbook,
Twilight, I've read Hunger
Algebra
Games.
2.
Ooh, a Twilight RPG.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I don't want that. And yeah, so no Twilight, that's out. I don't want Hunger Games, that would make a terrible RPG. So I really do have to go for Star Wars. I want a turn-based RPG in Star Wars in the vein of Bravely Default. So in Bravely Default, you've got the Brave points where you can store up future turns, that kind of stuff. You could use, like, change the Brave points to Force points, that kind of thing. So you can store up turns or, you know, maybe move faster through the power of the Force, that kind of thing. But that's what I'm thinking, kind of a turn-based style RPG where there's some sort of a thing that you can do through the Force with the turn-based mechanics.
You have to allow for a moral system in a Star Wars game, though. You have to. You have to let
BioWare do it. It's fine.
Yeah. You have to let the players choose between Jedi and Sith, you know, and have their decision. I'm just gonna hijack all these conversations to let the players' decisions be like organic, right? So you don't know if you're doing a bad thing or not. Like you know.
Yeah,
you might be,
like that's one of the problems with a lot of morality systems is it's very black or white.
Please don't kill me, you know, that kind of. But like, you know, like literally like having to choose whether to save a person or let like a town burn down or stuff. You know, those kind of decisions. Like that could be really fun.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, and like I say, sorry I have to cheat, but I don't read a lot of books, so. You know.
So I'm gonna go next. I have two answers perhaps for this one. One that I'm stealing from you, Steve, because you said that Hunger Games would probably make a bad video game. I am of the opposite of opinion after you said that now. I'm thinking of a game like this. I'm thinking of a game very much like PUBG, because that's basically what it is, right?
PUBG, yes.
Except for you have to,
That's
like, it's not just
really
all
an RPG.
Well, but I'm getting there. It's not all about, like, you know, just being the last person alive, because if you've watched the Hunger Games movies, it's about, like, survival, right? So, like, perhaps you have to, you know, find food and, you know, build, like, a camp or whatever type of thing. And then, you know, you can level up your character or whatever, you know, like, so then you can have your RPG elements, you know. I mean, honestly, every game is an RPG these days, right? Like, Pokemon Go is technically considered an RPG because of the way you can, like, level your character up type of thing, I guess, right? So, I don't know. But that's what I want. Maybe some Hunger Games action akin to PUBG. But my real answer, that when I first read this question, and maybe it's not, you know, that big of a revelation, but we haven't had any Game of Thrones video games, like, at all, because as Justin has pointed out in a couple of shows, there's a lack of licensed games in the industry right now. So, like, you know, Game of Thrones was the most popular thing on the planet for a while, and we really never saw a video game off of it aside from, like, some crappy mobile games. So give me something Game of Thrones. I'm not exactly sure how you would do it, but probably, like Lucas, I think the best place for that would be like in a Skyrim type of game.
Yeah.
What about a dungeon crawler style game?
Yeah, maybe, but like Lord of the Rings is all about story.
Overworld.
Yeah, it's all about story. So the way I'm seeing this is like you can go to the Citadel and you can like go read all of the books in the Citadel if you really want to, type of thing. You know, like that's the type of game that I want.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Justin, you ever figure out what your game book world would be?
Yes, since everybody else took my favorite franchises, and you know we can't repeat what somebody else said on this show.
True.
I remembered that I'm still going to play to type because there's a book series called Kingdom Keepers. Now I've only read the first one, but the premise of it is there's this dream world, like dream state that people go in, and it's been years since I read. When they fall asleep, they enter the Disney parks after dark, where all of the magic is real. And so I'm picturing a Kingdom Keepers Skyrim style RPG where you are one of the Kingdom Keepers and you are in the Disney parks, but it's night and everything that's, you know, a special effect is now real, and the villains are real, and the rides are coming to life and all that, and you have to.
Isn't that game called Kingdom Hearts?
Spells.
Not quite.
Yeah,
Almost.
not quite.
It's closer to Epic Mickey.
This one actually has a sensical plot.
That's about right.
Actually, I don't know a whole lot about Kingdom Hearts, but
well, when you've got a title like 358 Days Over 2 as an official title, it's nonsensical, I promise.
Yeah, so well, that and it's Square, but so yeah, I'm gonna, since I couldn't go with Star Wars and I couldn't go with Harry Potter, I'm gonna play to type and go with Disney and say I would definitely, and I would definitely play a Kingdom Keepers game, especially since I'm too lazy to read books, much like Steve.
True.
Well, Steve,
I mean,
why
I
don't
suppose
you read
I could
us,
go with my other
Colt's
favorite
question?
book.
Okay, so do you want question 1, question C, or question B?
Question C.
All right. What video game character is your guy crush?
Oh, I hate that one. Question B.
Question B. What is one
Just
video game
zigzagging right out of that one.
What is one video game you would like to see become a live action TV show like The Witcher?
Oh, okay.
Metroid.
Let's think this one through. through, gentlemen.
All right,
Wow.
to be fair,
no
I think they
hesitation
could.
with you.
I don't
Gene.
think they
to
could
be
handle
fair,
Samus
The
right.
Witcher is a series of books first, so that's not really turning a video game into a series. That's turning a
But
series of books into a series.
Eugene says Metroid. No hesitation
I'm
whatsoever.
a fight you on
That'd
this
be
one,
cool.
Eugene, because I would love that. I love the Metroid manga, but again, I think too many people have their own interpretation of who Samus is because she's the silent protagonist. So, like in Other M, for example, they thought she was this whiny, annoying character, whereas I've said this 100 times on the show. From like my background, I was like, oh, cool, they're delving into like the PTSD from the Ridley attack.
Sure.
Like, do you make her like an empathetic, like, becoming a hero character, or do you make her this silent badass that everybody wants her to be, like, But I would love a Metroid show.
I mean, she kind of took the Anakin Skywalker path. She
Yeah.
went from whiny and annoying to silent badass.
And maybe you could show that, and it would be, like, in my opinion, really cool to like delve into all the, like, her being raised by the Chozo and like what happened to her family and Ridley and Mother Brain. Like, that would be fun. Okay, I'm with you, Gene. I don't have another. Oh, you know what would be what would be a cool one, but you can't do it like the movie that's coming out, Monster Hunter. So I have an idea for like a Monster Hunter show. Very Game of Thrones. Like, you get the guys who like wrote and directed Game of Thrones, right? So you have this big theatrical, like high budget kind of fantasy world. And it's not about like guys who get sucked into the game or anything. It's about like these humans who are living in settlements where they are the bottom of the food chain, right? And these monsters are, this constant threat. So they have to go out, and there's like a select group of people that are hunters, and it's their job to go out and keep the town safe and gather supplies. And they basically like, keep life for the other people that live in the town. And it could just be this season by season story of, you pick a few hunters, maybe from a few different towns, maybe they meet up, maybe they don't, and their lives, and some of them die and some of them live, and it's just this constant battle. And then maybe toward the end you could get into like, some overarching narrative where they're trying to achieve some goal.
I could see it.
In the end there's like one winner or something, like Game of Thrones. But I would love like a Game of Thrones style Monster Hunter TV show. I think that would be phenomenally cool, with all the monsters that you could base it around too, all the special effects you could use to make these like, amazing giant beasts that they're fighting. Oh,
Right.
I'd love it.
It's basically an open canvas too,
fine.
because like, the Monster Hunter, it's not like it had a whole lot of story to begin with, right? So like you can kind of do with it as you will.
Not that you cared about.
Oh, exactly. There's like no plot. So it's, unlike a thing like a Sonic or a Mario or, even a Metroid to a degree, although I really want the Metroid show. There's really no risk of ruining a
The
favorite
Metroid
character.
show.
There's really no risk of ruining a favorite character because there are no favorite characters. Other than like the two little dudes from 3, Chaka and whatever the other one, Kawamba or whatever. Like, you could include them as like cameos, but you'd be creating these characters from scratch. So it would give the writers a lot of liberty to create their own product on top of an established brand, which I think would be really cool.
So going back to mine on
All
Metroid,
right.
before I toss it off to Justin and Steve, the way I was envisioning it was actually keeping Samus silent. Have you guys ever seen? So I'm thinking of
That
a
would
movie
be
like Traffic or something. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie. It's an old 70s movie, but like, the main character like literally never talks, and so it's just telling the story
Silent
kind of
protagonist.
around the main character type of thing.
I can see that.
What was it? The Man Without a Name
Yep.
series where he barely speaks through the whole thing.
Yeah, that could be really cool, actually. I like that.
Like, I don't know if I could go with completely silent protagonists, but certainly protagonists who only speaks when absolutely necessary, I think would work well for like Samus or Link in a TV show.
Sure.
All right, so in the interest of not being dead last like I have been all night, I'm going to jump in here.
I don't have anything yet.
Okay, good. I have 3, and all of them are related. And I'm gonna say why I have 3 and why they would all work. Right off the bat, the 3 I thought of were Red Dead, Grand Theft Auto, L.A. Noire.
Because they're already movies.
Rockstar,
Yeah.
exactly. And I've been saying this for. Rockstar writes really good stories that don't necessarily mesh well with gameplay, but they also make really incredible games. So I would love to see like a Grand Theft Auto series where, you know, you follow a character or group of characters over the course of a season in a city that's, you know, got the same tongue-in-cheek humor and over-the-top action and stuff like that.
And if you really wanted to borrow from like the stories that already existed, like say you wanted to do like a Grand Theft Auto 5 show and just have it be about those characters, I mean, they use actual actors in those games,
right?
You know?
Exactly.
So like those characters already look like they're
dead.
They exactly. They look and sound like their characters. So you could literally just get them to act in a show, and it would be like, okay, here we go. We created the perfect video game show. You know?
Like I honestly can't even remember that actor's name because I saw him in The Walking Dead. I'm like, it's Trevor.
Yeah.
Red Dead would make an amazing. Like I would love to see like do a Red Dead TV series that follows the Van der Linde gang before, you know, Dutch started going insane. You know, show them as the Robin Hood and Merry Men that they were, you know, before Red Dead Redemption 2 started, and show his relationship with Colm Wilkinson and all that. Like flesh that out, but you know, use that storytelling. And LA Noire, we need more noir. Like we need more detective shows. We need more detective movies. And you know, you take LA Noire, which is already more movie than game anyway, and turn that into it's even episodic. Like I never finished LA Noire, but there was no ongoing plot that I picked up on. It was just kind of a series of events.
Well,
and even if there was one, it was subtle.
There was kind of a season to season plot too that was really cool, because once you get into like the murders, you're solving this one murder over the course of the entire game, and that could be an entire like season of the show, you know, is trying to find that murderer, because that was really satisfying when that story ended, you know. So
right, and you can do something like a lot of these shows do nowadays, where you have episodic stories, but in the background you get snippets of one big story that lasts through the whole season. Like Criminal Minds has done it, and Dexter did it, and all that. Like, you know, like there's just so much that you could do with Rockstar properties in the format of a television show that I think it needs to happen.
Sure.
Give us the open world games, and give us the stories on TV, HBO or something.
Right. Well, Steve, why don't you tell us how Minecraft would be a perfect live action series?
I strongly considered that for a minute, and they're already making a movie, so that one's out.
Also, Lost was a show like 15 years ago. So.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
fair. What actually came to mind, thank you, Justin, for bringing us back to last week's conversation about cinematic video games. I want to see an original Final Fantasy story. It can have the lore, it can have the crystals, it can have
called
the
Spirits
light
Within.
and the dark.
I was just gonna say.
Well,
Yeah, but a good one.
I liked that movie.
That's just it. It's the Spirits Within was obviously highly debated among Final Fantasy fans. But
it was a good movie and a good story.
I was a child and I sat down to watch it knowing nothing about it, and I was like, what the heck is this garbage? Why is it Final Fantasy?
I sat down with an ex-girlfriend and watched it with her and fell asleep.
And that's why you broke up, because you watched that movie. Horrible decision. Never watch it.
But I want an original story, similar to what they did with The Mandalorian, bringing it back to Star Wars, where it's a familiar universe. You've got the lore and everything, but it's an original story with original characters. There's not a lot of tie-in to any one game in the series. You're not going to have a cameo from Cloud or Tifa or, you know, anybody from Final Fantasy X. I just want something original. And I want it set not in the modern times of Final Fantasy 15, but more
Final Fantasy 6.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy VI, like medieval times.
Or Final Fantasy 4, like
or
more medieval, less.
I was actually
shippy. Yeah.
Ooh,
I was actually kind of thinking like 13. I liked the world, I just didn't care for the story, so something futuristic like that.
See, I would like a little machinery style stuff, like Crystal Chronicles: The Crystal Bearers. That game, that was
a lot of
like,
steampunk.
that was a cool
Yeah.
world. Yeah, I would get into it. There's not really a steampunk show that I can think of that's like not horrible, so that would be cool.
I was gonna say, yeah, not horrible's the qualifier there.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you one thing about a Final Fantasy movie and or TV series. If they don't have chocobos, I am not freaking watching, Steve. So
Oh, they have to. No, that's
They have to have crystals. They have to have chocobos.
chocobos. They have to have.
They've got to have
Moogles,
summons.
Moogles.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
I mean, there's key there's key things that every that's the core that binds the games
Yeah.
together. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure
They've gotta
Spirits
have
Within did
Sid.
not have a single chocobo.
Which is why it
Not
failed.
that I know of. It did have Gaia, though.
True.
That's a pretty Final Fantasy thing.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, all right. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the question block. That brings us to the end of the show, guys. So it's time to get out of here, I think. Another good one here for y'all tonight. I hope you all enjoyed it this evening. But before we get out of here, we're going to make sure that you know where you can find us on our various channels. So I'll start. Don't forget to literally just go to infendo.com. That's all I really care about from you. From there, you can join the community tab and join our Discord. Go to Steve's Discord. You can find us on Twitch and YouTube and, all of that fun stuff. Infendo.com is the place to be. So that's where I want you to go right after you hang up this podcast episode. I was going to just leave it here and wait for one of y'all to start talking. But Lucas...
We could be here for a while.
As we're so used to you bossing us around, dude. We don't know what we're like Pikmin, and you're our Olimar. As
I wanna be Alf.
so shamefully did. Okay, you could be Alf. As I so shamefully did at the beginning
No
of the
eating
show,
cats.
I mentioned Steve and I have another podcast called Hyper Voice. It is Infendo Radio minus 95% of the silly, plus 100% of the nerdy.
I was gonna say it's nerd. It's
Yeah.
straight up nerd.
So if you've been wanting to learn Pokemon, like beginner level competitive Pokemon stuff, come check us out. We got what you need, and we're your familiar co-hosts on Infendo Radio, so it'll be a good time. You're welcome. Come join us.
I will tell you that I listened to my very first episode of Hyper Voice on Spreaker.com/hypervoice, and it was a good time.
podcast. Nice.
That is where you go for that. Thank you for bringing that up, Eugene, because I forgot to say it. That is very good, and thank you. But yeah, that's the thing. Other than that, me personally, I have a website, chromatichu.com. I have not been updating that website much because I've been working on the actual game, so you're not going to see much there. However, I have been feeling sherry. So I know I say never to follow me here, but I think right now your best bet to keep up with what I'm doing is go on Twitter and follow me at ChromaticHue. And I know I say that every week, and it's a weird long name, and I'm gonna bomb because nobody's gonna know how to look it up when it comes out. But that is spelled ChromaticHue, Chromatic Hue. So follow me on there, and do what you do. And yeah, I have a YouTube channel. Again, I haven't been making videos because I've been working on my game. I can only do one thing at a time, apparently. So right now it's that. But that's my life.
Good deal.
Justin, where can the people find you?
You can find me playing air piano. Those of you not watching the stream, you are now confused. You can find me on Twitter at InfendoJustin. You can visit my website at utilidork.com. I have a feeling by the time I get this blog finished, it's going to no longer be relevant, but I do have big things coming up for the website, so follow at Utilidork on Twitter for announcements on that, because I am ready to get the ball rolling on something big.
Not to turn this into a business conversation, but if you really wanted to supercharge your SEO right now, you could talk about the controversial reopening of Disney in California.
That's actually what my blog is about. But the problem is I want to get it out before they reopen, because I have a feeling that if I'm speculating on things that they've already got the information out on, I'm
Then I guess I know what
Screwed.
you're. Then I guess
Behind
I
the
know.
eight ball there.
Then I guess I know what you're doing tonight after the show.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, probably playing Animal Crossing.
Steve, where can the lovely people find you when I'm being Eugene?
In Discord. Go to infendo.com, click on the community page, join the Infendo Discord, and join my personal Discord. I had a lot of new people join my Discord this week. It was all coworkers. I don't care. I had a lot of new people join my Discord this week, and it felt awesome. You can also find me on Twitter at Gentis1. And if you want to play Minecraft Dungeons, Skypharaoh, I'm looking at you. I saw you playing last night. Hit me up. I would love to play with you.
Awesome. Righty. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for joining the show. This will be the last reminder on this one, but this month we're donating our entire Patreon fundage to the CDC Foundation to help relieve COVID-19. So we will, we appreciate you, putting your money towards that. Lastly,
and we might as well say we've kind of discussed this privately, you and me, Eugene, but we're planning on at least donating 50% of it in the coming months to continue to go to the CDC. So we'll come up with a final number there as we continue to go, but that's going to be a thing. So please, if you want to, support us and know that a little bit of the money is going back to, a worthier cause, then now's a cool time to get on board and get some bonuses to us. So check that out.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully we don't have too many more months of this. Not being greedy, but let's stay inside and end this pandemic as quickly as possible.
Well, based on the stuff I read on Facebook and Twitter today, we're gonna be going through this for a while yet. But we'll talk about that off the air.
Peace out,
talk
bitches.
about that on COVID radio.
Right. All right. Well, and you've heard me say this before too, but it's important now as it ever has been. Make sure that you get out and vote. Mail-in ballots are available, so make sure you apply for one of those. But man, we need some people in government that know what they're doing. So let's make sure that happens. All right. Well,
thank you.
See you guys later. I guess that's off of my soapbox. I'll catch you all next week.
Yeah. Peace.
Stay inside for at least another 4, maybe 5 months.
Why? Because we don't like you and we want you to stay out of our view. No.
That's it. Cut, print, episode's over. Perfect end to a perfect show.
All right.
It was unruly tonight, and I'm sorry for the part that I played in it, but I'm also not. Eugene, I don't usually get you to crack up, so I was quite proud of that.
I'm sure I'm the only one that understood that motherfucking Alf cat reference, so I was just shaking my head in disgust.
Oh no, I
myself.
got it. It took me like 10 seconds, but I got it.
Hey Eugene, I got a warning about dropout sections in my audio, so beware of that.
Jesus Christ, fix your head.
All right, kids. I'm ending the Twitch stream right now. Goodbye,